In CourageD, we have a health check report that will help you find missing items on an appointment, to check the overall health and create like a check and balance for appointments in your office. To get to the health check report, you're going to log into your live location, go to reporting, simple reporting, health check. Again, under this report, it's kind of like a check and balance system. We have a number of reports under this tab, but it's just a quick way to check overall health of certain items in your office. I recommend that your office creates a workflow where you run the health check reports every day, or at the end of every shift, or at the end of every week. You want to stay on top of these items as they affect your billing, they affect your collections, they affect the overall health of your office. So again, I recommend that you create that workflow so that these are being checked regularly, because staying on top of them is easy, but catching up can be difficult if your office is not using this check and balance system. When I click on health check, you can see by default the date picker just goes to today. You can set your own custom start and end date, or you can use these date pickers to quickly select the date for you. You can see when I select month, it changed the start and end date on the date picker and on my health check report. Here's my health check dashboard. At the moment, we're just viewing the dashboard. To initiate or run the health check dashboard, I need to select my date and then click check all, or I can click run on the individual report that I want to run. I recommend that you always click check all so that you're running the health check on all of these reports. So if I click check all, you can see the reports where no items were found, and then I can see the reports where items were found. If I click on the card itself, a drop-down menu will appear where it will show the items that were flagged. So again, I can click run on the individual reports, or I can click check all. That initiates the health check of your office. Again, by default, if I'm just opening a date and opening the dashboard, it hasn't done anything yet. We have to initiate the action by clicking check all or run. The appointments missing soap notes report is looking for soap notes that haven't even been started. So what I mean by that is if you have a note that you have already saved as draft, so it's not finalized but it's saved as draft, that will not hit this report. It is simply looking for a soap note that has not been started at all. It's completely missing a note, because a draft note is a note that has been started, it just needs to be finalized. So I just want to reiterate, the appointments missing soap notes health check report is looking for notes that have not even been started on an appointment. And again, it's looking for appointments within this date range. So when I clicked check all, I see there are 2 items found. If I drill into this card, I can see the appointments that are being flagged. If I click on the patient's name in blue, that is hyperlinked and it will take me to their patient snapshot. I then want to click on visit history, and here are where the soap notes live for a patient. This gray bar will show up on a patient's visit history tab when there is an appointment on the calendar. So there has to be an appointment for this box to show. And as I can see here, there's no soap note. If I hover over this red exclamation mark, it's saying there's no soap note for this appointment. So this is why this appointment is being flagged on that health check report. If I click into the box and click create soap note, then I will be taken to the soap note screen where I can create my soap note. I cannot add charges for the appointment. I would have to do that by clicking on new transaction. I can only go in and create or edit a soap note, because when I'm going through the visits tab, that is considered editing mode. So I can only create or edit a soap note. I cannot add charges. So I'm going to go ahead and click create soap note and add a soap note for this appointment. Since this is my test office, my soap note screen may look a little different than yours because your soap note macros will be different. The information that you have for each patient will be different. I'm just giving you a visual example. I'm going to act like I've put in a soap note. Of course, yours would be a detailed soap note. I'm going to hit submit. At this point, you can see that warnings about a soap note missing have disappeared. I'm going to click on the X just to close out those screens. But when I go back to this screen, my health check dashboard, I am still technically looking at the old version screen I was just looking at. So to rerun this health check report, I need to refresh it in a way. I need to rerun it. So I can click check all again, or I can click on recheck on this individual report. I'm going to click recheck, and you can see it reran the health check and it removed that patient because I did complete the SOAP note. You do see this exclude from report button. This would be for specific situations where there is not a note needed. Now for appointments missing SOAP notes, it's not exactly the best use case because every appointment should have a SOAP note. The exclude from report may be more valid for duplicate charges report, but maybe not so much this report, but that is a button where you can clear this patient from the report. That will permanently clear this appointment for this patient on this report. It's not a temporary dismiss button. It will permanently remove this appointment for this patient on this health check report. So please keep that in mind because I do see offices that just click exclude from report on everything. And that is simply removing all the issues from the report. You're not tackling them or handling them. You're just removing them. So I do want to touch on what that button is, but use it with caution and with discretion because it will, like I said, permanently remove the patient for this appointment on the health check report. So now you have cleared away the warning that you're missing something. And something like a SOAP note missing is a big deal. So again, the appointments missing SOAP note health check report. To navigate SOAP notes for appointments that have been put in draft, because those don't show up on the report, you need to reference your draft notes queue. I recommend that you go to the SOAP notes screen, click on draft notes, and you can see each provider. I only have one provider right now that has draft notes. Each provider has their own queue. And here, each provider can finalize their drafted notes. So on every appointment, you want to be on top of completing SOAP notes as quickly as possible. We recommend SOAP notes be finalized the day of the appointment, but sometimes things happen. So you want to be on top of checking those two queues, the health check report for SOAP notes that haven't even been started, and then also your draft notes because those are SOAP notes that haven't been completed. And you need to have a finalized and completed SOAP note. So a big health check for your office is appointments missing SOAP notes. And again, to access that, you're going to go to reporting, simple reporting, health check, and then you can navigate on the dashboard to appointments missing SOAP notes.